Just a little PSA, little awareness here. Trump is at war with the law. A lot of people want to. They think their whole thing is the law and judges and all. He's at war with the law. Um, and what that means is, like the election case, he's lost most of them. There's that famous clip. Rudy Giuliani goes in there and he says it's not a fraud case. Right. Because to these crackers, these Trumpers, they can just lie. We're doing something. So much of Trump is like they like the fact he's doing stuff, even when it doesn't go anywhere. They don't care about like the fact it doesn't go anywhere. They're just they support him no matter what. That bothers me because Trump loses a lot. The election with other cases, he lost a lot, but he's at war with the law. That's why you have it now with this him having people deported to El Salvador, and now the judge is talking about contempt charges. This is why Trump came out talking about he wants to impeach judges. This is why Trump wants to roll back the pardons of Joe Biden's son. Notice him talking about auto. I don't know what autopin was. They've been using that since Truman, because on autopin it doesn't stand. Well, that's a lie. And once again, he's talking to people who want to believe that. And it's getting me because everybody's like, why would Joe Biden pardon his son? Because he knew Trump would go after his son. He understands that Trump doesn't care about the law. And if you fill your administration full of people that hop, skip, and jump to whatever Trump says, that's dangerous. These people, Cash Patel, Don Bongino, they don't have no integrity. These are terrorists. We know what these people are. Look in Cash Patel's eyes, you know what that means. That's a fanatic. It's not a reasonable man that's measured. That's not a measured man. That's a fascist that wants to go after people who have said bad things about Donald Trump. So for me, it gets me how so much Trump has done so far that the left, we can say was right. Us talking about Project 2025, it was right. You know, Joe Biden pardoning his family, it was right. Because it's what Trump is, a divider. He has no politics. He has nothing to stand upon. He's a divider. This is what his politics leads you to. Division. To me, it just, so Trump doesn't care about the law. He's at war with the law. Firing his AGs, people whose job it is to investigate what he's doing, keep him accountable. Firing these JAGs, Judge Advocate Generals in the military, because these white folks seem to think that this is like getting rid of people who don't do their jobs or something. That's not what this is. These are people who have been in office maybe 20, 30 years. They know what's right. They know what's wrong. Trump wants to commit war crimes. He wants to be a dictator. You can't do that with adults. You can't do that with adults who clearly know what's right and what's wrong and will probably alert the public if you do something bad. This is all about moving America to fucking RoboCop. This is about moving America to an era where we could do some really fucked up stuff. And I mean, it's just clear what we're looking at, that he's at war with the law. That's why he said, what did he say? He who saves his country is guilty of no law. He's quoting Napoleon, because he doesn't care about the law. He doesn't think, and rich white men, they don't think the law that applies to me applies to them. But Trump, that's what's so wild, is Trump shows you that. They used to kind of pretend. He shows you that the law is not meant to be equal. All men are not equal under judgment, and he shows you that. He doesn't even want to pretend that no more. So once again, how does any of what I just said help people with gas or egg prices? It doesn't. It was never about gas or egg prices. It's about cruelty and hate. That was it.